Hello viewers, welcome to CodeForAny. Fruit markets apps inside. Today we need to admin user inside. Need to edit this here the fruit items. UI need to manage here inside the add screens. We need to first of all the need this here the tabs. Need to past years. Need to give this here the final bool is edit like this and final map optional. We need to set here the edit checked like this sets and to input this here these parameters and remove here the required by default need to set this here the false like here and we need to save here. Now if here the edits and we need to uncomment these codes and we need to write down here the objects maybe give this here object is good, write down here the question mark and we need to set this here the name as a item names we need to set here, then after descriptions like this sets and we need to set this here the question mark like we need to configure for this here and make sure need to call this API for the main list. We need to set here the selections event, we need to call here like here and we need to go here the API gets here the main categories and now need to check here if is widgets dot is edit true means here we need to give this here the select event select main cat is equal to need to find out here the main categories area and find where first need to write down here object return here we need to write down here for this data we need to check here the object dot key main gets id equal to need to write down here widget dot edit object and we need to set this main categories id and semicolons, set here the question marks like this. If here the found here the equals value then to returning this year's else parts or else and we need to write down here the null like need to configurations for years if need to select cats is not equal to null like this years and we need to modify this API calls of the gets category list and we need to set the bool pre-select is pre-select like here's past these flags and we need to set this by defaults as a false. If you get here the true means you need to select here the specific items for this index we need to getting this value like we need to configure so we need to setting here and set here the false like here's after we need to same as we need to set this here the conditions for this here the edit conditions need to copy here and we need to write down here the data category list and set it if if edit and reselect like here's, and now we need to call this here the API for the category list. We need to setting here the pass here these parameters. Now need to find out this API calls here's, and need to selecting here if here edits and not null like this sets here, and we need to give this here the selected items like here. Need to pass this value of this index value, need to return it, and this here the is reselect set here the true like here's, and then after we need to configure for the edits. Need to write down here, need to call this here the category array, and we need to set this here the for each, and set here the object like here's, and we need to check here the index of value. Need to find out here for this objects. Now need to check here if widgets question mark object dots. Need to get here the check here the get id as constraint. Need to set this here the object dot get id to string. Maybe need to convert into the split is good way to cut this code, and we need to convert into the array selected array is equal to widgets dots to string dots. Need to get this here the split comma, and we need to write down here the map indexed id, maybe get id return here. Maybe no needs this years because always need to get here the string, and now I need to check here see select category constant, and to pass this here the object dots. Need to pass this here the key names as you need to convert into the categories, category IDs, and we need to found this here, this condition data. Constants means here the select gets, and we need to push, add, and to set like this objects. So, object dot constants selected. Like so we need to write down here the for loops. Need to call here and we need to set here the selections events by default. So we need to set here. And then after another things for the image pickers, we need to configure for this UI. We need to set this here the conditions. Need to write down here widgets dot is edit and like here need to set this here the catch image. We need to set here for this UI. Need to go inside here the item row and we need to find out here the this cells. Need to copy here for this data and we need to paste this here for these records like here catch image and remove this comma. Now we need to write down here the widgets dot set experimentary science of set here the image. Like these configurations are the needs and to give this here the width and heights and fit covers like this sets for this UI. Mm. And we need to configurations are the done for the edits. And another conditions if here widgets dot is edit, and we need to write down here the update, change this here the names. For this API calls, we need to like this, we need to write down here and we need to set this here. And now if here edits, then to set here the optionals widgets dot is edit not equal to not and conditions like here. Please select here the image like this conditions and make sure also need to write down here widgets dot is edit, then to edit API we need to calls else parts we need to call here add API like here. And now to calls here the another API, need to copy this API here, paste this here and to write down here the update like here. Remove these files because this is here the not image you need to include, and to write down here the post and clean this here, and we need to pop the screens of the after the updating this data. No needs need to clean here like here. And like this configurations are the needs for this object need to calling here, and we need to write down here the admin update like here, and we need to call this here the API after the add buttons on submit, copy here and to pass this here the and we need to remove this here the image parts. And now need to give this here the item underscore id is equal to widgets dot object, and we need to pass this here the optionals item underscore id to string. If not found, then to set here to blank. Like this, you need to passing for the updates parameters. You need to calling here and to set this here. Now need to save here. And most important parts, after the selecting here the image, we need to set here the image parts of pickups to these files, and we need to set here the one more things. If to write down here the widgets dot is edit, then we need to call here the another API, only update this here the image, update image, and we need to call this here, maybe check inside the API calls. Need to declare here items image update like this, and save here, and to set here the updates need to pass here the parameters, as well as need to call here the remove these conditions here, pass here the image objects token is true, and like this sets. Now need to copy here, and you need to call this here the after selecting image, need to put here pass this here the parameters, need to pass here the update image inside the item id like here, and we need to set this here the widget dots object, and we need to pass this here item underscore id to string. If not found, then set here the blank semicolons, and you need to pass this here the another parameters for image, set here image, and to give this here the select image exclamatory signs, and like this you need to setting here for the updating here the image. Now this is are the calling here. Now need to go inside here the list, and we need to call this here the edit for this UI, maybe here uncomment this code, and to write down here admin items add screens edit true, and we need to pass this here the object, and we need to save this here. Now need to click here, and opening like this here the fill fulfills this all data, and we need to call this here the updates events, gets here the server internals errors. So need to check this here the node service inside the errors, need to check here. We need to found here the issue for the comma. Now need to save here for the updates, save this here, and make sure for the deletes here not issue. Now need to save, and also need to check for image updatings, and here goods. Now need to restart this server, and we need to again call this API, and item update successfully. Need to get this here the message, click on backs, set here, and change this here the image, use this here the gallery, and to select this image, and item image update successfully, click on backs and change here, and again go for edits and change here. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any question, so please write down the comment sections. I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care. And tomorrow to see this here the add items fruit nutrition's list. We need to add update deletes list. We need to making here for in tomorrow.